Well, I'm here via Zoom with Victoria Eggers, who you saw earlier in a protest at LACMA, which is the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. On behalf of Rise Up for Abortion Rights, I want to first off welcome you, Victoria, to the RNL Revolution Nothing Less show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, well, I just have to say, not only was that a brave action, but it was, and we'll get into this a little bit, it was really just a beautiful picture in front of the Chris Burton sculpture. It was just it was really quite something. But rather than me talk about it, why don't you tell our audience, what you did and why you did it, what you were hoping to convey in the particular action that you did, the way it was constructed, the way you presented yourselves.
Okay. So I'm one of organizer with LA chapter Rise Up and also with Vets Rise for Roe. And so I wanted to do an action because the Courthouse 4 really inspired me and I wasn't able to take part in that. So since I wasn't able to take part, I wanted to create something, especially veteran inspired, since that's really close to what I am about. So then I picked the LACMA because at the end of the day, I'm an artist and that's also really important to me. So I picked the Los Angeles Museum of Art and Design. And Chris Burton's works particular because he is a very renowned performance artist. He's been known to use blood and other political standpoints in his performances. He shot himself. He's been crucified. So we're right up his alley with what we were displaying. So me and another woman, Leviticus, who is an art activist, we walked up, we chained ourselves, and we had blood pouring on us. And all for demanding abortion rights now with the visuals of people will die, women will die. This is one of those beautiful train wrecks you can't look away from, but with a point and a message. And I definitely wanted to do it wearing my military pants and stuff to really make a point that you can't hide behind the military, send us off to war and just like, okay, thank you. Like, we're not a political chess piece here. We're human beings. I served my country and I thought it was for everyone's rights, and now they took ours away.
Well, it was very visceral and evocative seeing your co-protester reenacting the famous photograph of Jerry Santoro crouched over in a pool of blood. And this is a very controversial image. I was actually in a protest in, I think, 1971, where people carry pictures of this from 1964. So why did you pick that? And what do you think it's been controversial down to today of whether or not we should show that kind of horror in fighting for the right of women to be able to control their own futures?
So the woman who performed that, her name is Olivia, and she, like most of us young women, weren't aware of Jerry Santoro at all because that happened before we were born. So she heard the story and it moved her, and so she wanted to perform it as well as alongside our performance. And of course, that's what we're here to do, and not only perform that, but educate people on who she was and why she became the symbol for it. And it's kind of almost ironic that people say we shouldn't use it when the other side uses such very graphic imagery of fetuses and all that medical stuff. Like, so this is not saying that we're going toe to toe and matching them, but it's real life, and these are real people's lives, and it's not something pretty, but it's real.
One of the photographs of this that was, frankly shocking is the Chris Burton's piece. For people who haven't seen it, it'll be up on our screen with all these columns, lampposts. All of a sudden, there's three people protesting, chained, clearly very nonviolent. Along comes this phalanx of almost like space-suited police winding through the columns to arrest you. What was your thought at the time, I couldn't tell if there were 30 or 40 of them for the three of you who were, as we said, one woman half naked, covered in blood, chained to a column, clearly a big threat to their physical safety. What did that make you think when this happened? And then what did you think, when you saw that or experienced the charges of felony charges for this theatrical art form of protest?
Well, I'll start with the charges. My thought on the charges were, you have to be kidding me. Like, if we can't perform art at an art museum, then where? And as they're displaying Barbara Kruger's work, My Body Is Your Battleground, it's just it's ridiculous, honestly. And then when I saw all those cops coming, it really didn't hit me until I saw the video of how much, because when I saw the sea of them flooding through the cars, we were laying down so they couldn't get us on resisting, because again, we were peaceful. We weren't there to make a disruption or cause any harm or anything. But then when I saw the video, it's just honestly saddening, because you see all the problems that LA has in general and the real crime, and how much that money could be helping the homeless population and the street, literally anything else. But you're putting over 75 police officers to take us away from an art installation that we're sitting on. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think, maybe in the ridiculousness of it, as you put it, or the absurdity of it in terms of, any kind of physical threat, I think it does tell us about how they actually view a protest around an opposition to the subordination of women and a fundamental right, and in LA, democratic city, against anybody really standing up and opposing the direction of things, and not just capitulating and saying, okay, well, we'll do this all nice and neat and be, in this case, and I'm using the term deliberately, good girls, rather than standing up and fighting for the right of women to have the right to abortion. So yeah, it's what would you like to ask you a question? What would you like people to take from this? The people who watch this, what did you want them and the art community as well to come away with from your action?
I would say art is supposed to evoke emotion. It is supposed to be powerful and moving. Whether that is you hate what I did, whether that is you love what I did, that is art. But at the end of the day, I hope it's inspiring. I got inspired to do my action, and there is no business as usual when women in this country don't have rights. And that's what I wanted to do. Why are we continuing to go on as a daily life half the women in this country aren't enslaved? That's ridiculous. So I wanted to disrupt it in a peaceful, nonviolent way, and just really get that voice out there. And through my voice personally as an artist, and that's how I found it. And I just want to speak to everybody saying I'm just a girl, but I'm using my voice, and I'm using my stance and where I came from and in my experiences, and just giving them hell and not backing down, because this isn't right. And it takes all of us together in every kind of effort and whatever capacity you can do.
Well, I think that's very important, Victoria. I want to commend you for doing this and for continuing this fight, even up against the odds where the Supreme Court decision has come down. And there's a lot of people saying to cool it, but Rise Up for Abortion Rights and yourself are continuing to do actions to inspire people to take to the streets, because the last word on all of this has to be with the masses of people who refuse to submit to this kind of outrageous repression and taking away of a fundamental right. And I encourage you and others to watch the R&L Revolution Nothing Less show to find out about the fundamental solution to this and all the problems we face. So I just want to thank you for taking the time today to be on the Revolution Nothing Less show. And I look forward to meeting you in person at some point soon.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I look forward to meeting you too.
Great. Take care.